Hello, my Virgo collective. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am here with your reading for April 2026. I hope you enjoy it. Now, for all of you that might be new, I usually like to start with some astrology. Astrology really affects the energetic pool of the tarot. So I pick 4 events for the month and I see how it's going to impact you. And then from there, I pull some tarot. Okay. So starting off April 9th. Mars will be in Aries. Mars in Aries is the energy of the warrior bursting out of its cubby hole and actually fighting. So, this is when you feel like you should do something, so you do it. This is like you dream about something and you act on that dream, or this is something where you feel like you need to heal something and you initiate that healing. I will be using the chakra deck to try to find out what this is all about for you, my Virgos. A lot of people are getting root chakra. Wow. So we have root chakra and discovery. This one is very different than all the other root chakras, okay? Trust me, it is red. Um this is activating your heart space because of the pink. It's really important here. But this is also connecting to some kind of, I want to say, spiritual self, which is going to help you discover an element of yourself you didn't know before. And it's also going to help you discover something that you have a potential to do that you didn't know you had. This feels like what they're showing me is the show Avatar, the cartoon show Avatar, when where Aang, the Avatar, um, has a vision where he saw all his past all the past avatars, okay, and how they are all linked to the same thread. Um, and then based on that experience, he was able to then link to those. Oh, this is giving me chills, you guys. That's a confirmation. He was able to link to whatever one of those past versions of himself to give himself counsel and also to help him unlock potentials that he didn't know he had. And that's what that's reminding me of. There's something waking up on you, my Virgos. That gave me chills. That gave me chills. The next thing that we're going to be looking at is the new moon in Aries. That will be on the 17th of April. Now, the thing about this moon, it's going to be on steroids. Why? Because we have the moon in Aries, we have the sun in Aries, Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, Mars in Aries, and Mercury in Aries. That's 6 astrological events, like placements, that are all in Aries. I really do recommend to find out where your Aries placement is, because this is where it's going to be more impactful to work your energy through. Okay. Now, um, it is very much fire energy, so it has a tendency of burning, and this has 6 placements in fire, so it's a very explosive burning. So keep that in mind when you're moving forward in your action, because it can legit cause a major disturbance. Okay. Um, but you can manifest something really big during this moon. Let's see how it's going to affect you. Look at that. We have again the heart chakra. We have the full moon in Virgo, so this is all about you. And we have the energy of you are enough. Tell me how this is not amazing. It's kind of like you're connecting to all the avatars that you've ever been, and then you're realizing your worth and value, and that is emanating around you. This one's an amazing reading. Virgo, you're going to have a very good April. Next thing we have is the sun entering Taurus. It's going to be on April 20th. I think this is a very good energy because it takes all this fire element and it brings it into earth. So all that passion, all that drive, all that anger, all that ambition, right? All that desire, and then make it 3D reality in a way that you can practically move forward in. All right. So I want to see how that's going to affect you. Look at that. Number 7, sword. Make the change. This is you taking a really good look in the mirror and being like, okay, it's time for me to change the way I look, the way I talk to myself. This can be something where you're looking at yourself in the mirror and speaking positive affirmations on yourself, right? And you're talking to it like if you're talking to another person. You look very pretty today, or look at how strong you look right now. I can't believe, what have you been doing to yourself? You look amazing, that kind of stuff. And so talking to yourself positively, it seems like you just have friends all over the place and you draw in all kinds of people in your life. Look at how people see that in you. I can't believe how you can't see it in yourself, girl, while you're talking to yourself in the mirror. Things like that. They're really, it seems funny when you're doing it because you're looking at yourself in your eyes and your face, and you're kind of laughing at yourself because some of these words are like, what? But these are things you need to hear from yourself. Um, and then finally, what we're going to be looking at is Uranus entering the sign of Gemini. This will start on April 25th, and it actually is a very long cycle. It will end in May 22nd of 2033. This is the energy and the element of change. It's a lot of wind energy, so it goes quickly, and it has to do with what we say and what we think and what we connect to. So we had like a prelude, a little bit of this around like April, May, all the way to like August of last year. So how did that feel like to you? Did you have like turbulence, or was that energy pretty calm? Because that's what's coming back. Okay. A derivative of it, because we are now in the age of Aquarius and we weren't then. And look at which we're finding. Oh, you got two. You got the energy of focus and the energy of community. And this feels like you are the snow leopard alone, and your focus will be on finding your spiritual community, people that are like you, people that you can feng shui with, people that you can act with, things like that. It feels like a new dawn for you. It's very positive. Tell me more about this. It says stripping the illusion. And this is pink again. And this is like the lotus flower that reminds me of that first card we had. And it feels like, look, I feel like whoever I'm talking to right here suffered from kind of low self esteem, right? Not seeing your worth, not seeing your value, feeling like selling yourself short. And I feel like you were doing that because, I don't know, maybe you experienced a lot of shit growing up. This is a root chakra. So it might just be like, you just blended into the background, is what they're telling me. Like you just blended into the background. There was so much going on, so many things, blah blah blah, and you went unnoticed, and you thought it was because you weren't good enough to be noticed, right? But the reality is because you were doing everything just fine, and there was no need to notice you because they knew, or whoever knew, you were going to be just fine. But now it's time for you to notice you. And I think like that lesson is really hard. That's one of those ones that I had to learn for myself too. But that lesson's really hard because we internalize how others react to us. And then we think that there's something wrong with us because why does everybody else get attention? There's obviously something more important to them than to me. And so then we then reflect it as in, I should pay attention to everybody else because they need more, they want more, or they are more important than myself. And then it's something like where we draw back the attention to ourselves because we're like, no, 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 we need more and we want more. And that's what this feels like, removing the veil that was placed upon you that you created for yourself because of the fact that you didn't receive that attention, that love, that stuff that you felt you should have received. um you went unnoticed, is what they keep telling me, but you were noticed. It's just that, you know, that line, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I feel like everything else needed more attention, and you seemed fine. So let's see more about the situation. Well, not so much the situation, or whatever additional messages guides would like to tell you for the month of April, because we got that down. We have temperance with justice coming out right off the bat. Holy shit. That's like you are literally double balancing yourself. You're balancing yourself in the spiritual, and you're balancing yourself in the physical. There's some kind of Wow. And you're going from being trapped, Eight of Swords, to being free. That's big, you guys. That's big because I think that you had been stuck. This is the illusion card. You've been stuck in this abyss by yourself for so long. Shut up. I saw the Hermit card before. And it's kind of like you're starting to realize I was stuck in that abyss because I thought I was supposed to be there because I wasn't good enough or I wasn't as important. But then I'm starting to realize, dude, I am important. And I have to get out of this hole. And I see you fighting with the Five of Wands to get out of that hole of the darkness in which you were found yourself. And it's going to be surprising for you because this tower, this breakdown of your alone space is actually going to balance out a lot of things in you. People are going to want to give to you. They're going to want to be around you. And I'm seeing the energy of the Ace of Wands. I feel like the energy of taking control and power and authority and let's do this and let's do this other thing because now I know I can is going to be activated. And I see the energy of false love that took stuff from you that was kind of narcissistic. That's what you are regaining so that you can start with that love again. I feel like I want to tell you this. I feel like that if you confronted narcissistic love, right, that you had narcissistic people around you, um, I'm not necessarily sure if these people even knew they were narcissistic. They just did what they were taught to do to survive, if that makes sense. And so they fell in this routine of this is how you treat kids, this is how you treat adults, this is how you treat your partner, this is how you treat whatever. And they never thought that, I don't know, you had feelings, you had desires, you had something different that you wanted to offer the world. And that happens sometimes because people fall into routines. And you know that line, if it's not broke, why fix it? That's actually, just because something doesn't seem broke, it doesn't mean that it's not broke. And if there's a need to fix something or if changes is being provoked that is creating things to have to be fixed, that's because it really was broke from the beginning. It's just that nobody talked about how broken it was. And I feel like maybe a part of you became the same person where you just tuned out and you just did what you were supposed to do. And that's why I feel like the Hermit card is there and that Snow Leopard is there. Because I think that you got lost in the winter that was introduced in your life. That doesn't mean you have to stay there. And I feel like you're finally getting to the point of realizing your worth and value and the fact that whatever you got taught or however things were in the before do not align to you, and you're going to rediscover yourself. And what I'm feeling is that you're going to rediscover a community also that's going to give you that support that you need to move forward. So April feels like coming out and seeing the world for the first time. So take advantage. See you the next time.